My name is Cody Hosterman. I'm going to be demonstrating today installing and configuring the Pure1 vRO workflow package for vRealize Orchestrator. So let's take a look on how to install and configure it. So the first step is installing it. I already have the FlashArray vRealize Orchestrator plugin installed, and so that comes with a whole variety of workflows. And we don't have the package installed, so we want to add this package. The Pure1 package adds a bunch of actions and workflows that allow us to connect to, authenticate, and leverage the intelligence inside of Pure1. These are a bunch of separate workflows in a workflow package available on the VMware Marketplace. So now that we've imported it, we have a variety of new actions. You can see there's 4 folders there with actions for Pure1. And of course, we have a bunch of new workflows that are added by this workflow package. So we expand the Pure Storage folder. We find the Pure1 Meta folder with a variety of folders in there with additional workflows. The first one you're probably going to want to run is to, well, authenticate. So first off, let's take a look at what it actually adds. So the workflow package also adds a configuration element where your authentication information is stored. It will also eventually add a REST target, but let's add that and authenticate. So by running the configure Pure1 credentials workflow, we can do that. So first in, we'll add our private key. Pure1 has our public key. This is what allows us to authenticate back to Pure1's REST. From the Pure1 interface, we can take our application ID, and we'll also post that in. So we've added the API key, and we'll use the defaults. If needed, you can also add a proxy here to get to Pure1. So this will store your credentials inside of vRealize Orchestrator, aka your private key and that API key. It adds it to that configuration element as secure strings, as you can see here. Furthermore, we also now have a REST host that has been added by that workflow. When we refresh the inventory, you can see the Pure1 URL here. Once again, if you added a proxy, that information will be stored there too. So now that we've stored the credentials, let's use it. One of the cool things about the workflow package is that it automates the registration of all your arrays. In my Pure1 org, I have a whole bunch of arrays here, 10. And manually adding each one of them into vRO is a bit of a process, right? We have to add it, put it in, authorize it, so forth. What the Pure1 workflow package does is it reaches out to Pure1 and pulls in all your arrays automatically. Here you can enter in your credentials if they're the same for each array. If they're not, or you entered them wrong, it'll prompt you for them later in the workflow. And this will reach out to Pure1, find all your available flash arrays, look for their FQDN, it will ping them to make sure they're available, and the ones that it can reach, it'll automatically register it with those credentials. So if the credentials are wrong or different for each one, it'll prompt you during this workflow to add in the new credentials. And this will automate adding all of your flash arrays directly into vRO. If it's already added, it will skip it. Right? So you can rerun it as new arrays are added into Pure1 as needed. So we'll refresh the inventory, and we'll see that our flash arrays have now automatically been added into the inventory. So our volumes and volume groups and snapshots and pods and so forth, all the inventory of your flash arrays and your flash array targets are added, and now you can configure, control, and manage those flash arrays directly in vRO. Thanks a lot.